to live. You should also have a savings plan or an investment plan.
Economic experts say markets don't stay this high forever, and what goes up must come down. Our expert says we have to think about stocks as individual companies whose fortunes are built on individual decisions. At the live desk, Veronica Ortega, WSBT 22 News.
2 people are in critical condition tonight after a deadly shooting that also killed 2 people in South Bend. Police say 25-year-old Anton James Jr. and 29-year-old Damon Bethel both are dead tonight. The 2 other victims who survived remain in the hospital. Police say the shootings happened late last night near Frederickson and Huey Streets in South Bend. Investigators are still searching for suspects. Anyone with information is asked to call the St. Joe County Metro Homicide Unit or call Crime Stoppers. And Metro Homicide has made an arrest in another killing. They took in 32-year-old Kennedy Kafadia. He's in jail for battery to an endangered adult resulting in death. Now, this happened on Riverside Court in South Bend this morning. When police arrived at the Metcalf group home, they found 48-year-old Roy Martinez bleeding. Police attempted CPR, but Martinez was pronounced dead at the hospital. The Metcalf group home is owned by Oaklawn. A representative there says it is a transitional residence for mentally ill patients. The prosecution continues to build its case in the sensational trial going on in Kosciuszko County this week against defendant Mark Soto. The state alleges he threatened people and led corrupt business efforts, all for a movie deal that never happened. The Grace College professor was indicted alongside former Kosciuszko County Sheriff Aaron Robenstein and Kevin Bronson. WSBT 22 Suzanne Spencer has more from Warsaw.
2 victims told the court the terror they felt if they didn't do what Kevin Bronson and Mark Soto told them to do. Their alleged demands all connected to a proposed movie deal about Kevin Bronson's life. Bronson claimed it was the only way out of the Aryan Brotherhood. One of those victims was LA attorney David Baker. He testified through tears the fear he lived in for nearly 4.5 years. The state's attorneys argued Soto facilitated several meetings. They also argued his credibility got those victims to believe in Bronson's story. The defense questioning that, saying it's possible Soto, too, was acting in fear. Soto's attorney also arguing no victim was ever physically harmed by those men. Lots of discussion certainly today about a 2011 will made for Kevin Bronson. In it was former Sheriff Aaron Robenstein, current Sheriff Rocky Goshard, former defense attorney and current Kosciuszko County Judge Tori Bauer, and the Kosciuszko County Republican Party. The will creator said that she knew Bronson didn't have any money, but that the will was, quote, paper playing with monopoly money. I'll be back in court tomorrow as we hear from the much anticipated witness, Kevin Bronson. In Warsaw, Suzanne Spencer, WSBT 22 News.
A tip in the Delphi double homicide investigation has resulted in a break in a different case. The tip brought in a confession in a 10-year-old murder case. 39-year-old Kevin Sellers is accused of shooting his uncle, 50-year-old David Sellers, at the home that the two shared back in 2007. Sellers was first questioned about the Delphi killings. Police then confronted him with evidence gathered in the ongoing investigation into the death of his uncle. And at that point, he told police, "I surrender." He gave them a detailed confession of the 10-year-old homicide. A just-released report shows more children in Indiana are dying of neglect and abuse. The State Department of Child Services says that it saw 77 kids die in 2015 as a direct result. That's a higher number that's been reported versus the last several years. In cases of abuse, the data shows the cause of death is almost always head trauma. In neglect cases, asphyxiation is often the cause. The report profiles a number of cases where infants died while co-sleeping with parents who were either drunk or high, and it also highlights numerous cases where kids left unattended, drowned in pools, ponds, or even bathtubs. City of Plymouth is preparing for a loss of jobs and a hit to the local economy. The Bay Valley Pickle Plant is closing its doors. The plant makes pickles, jalapenos, and banana peppers. The closure is set to affect 150 people who work there, and the mayor of Plymouth says it's not only a loss for those employees, but for the city as well. The plant is the biggest customer for the city's wastewater facility. It brings in about $1 million each year.
I want the employees out there to know that the city is behind you, and we are here to work with you, and I'm sure the Bay Valley is as well. They don't want to leave you out cold, but we'll be working with you.
The mayor says he is confident that the employees will be able to find other jobs. Developers say Elkhart County needs a facility like South Bend Century Center. The Elkhart County Redevelopment Commission is looking at expanding the Northern Indiana Event Center. That's the site of the RV Hall of Fame. Supporters say that building is missing a large banquet hall, so they're considering expanding the center by 60,000 square feet.
It would just enhance the regional draw of Elkhart, leverage its role as the RV capital of the world, and create economic development and economic opportunities for the whole area.
Right now, the plans are just at the feasibility study stage. Organizers estimate the event center could have a $1.2 million economic impact if that expansion gets the green light. A long-standing festival ramped up today. Despite the rainy weather, the 55th annual Amish Acres Arts and Crafts Festival kicked off in Napanee. The festival started clear back in 1962 when the Pletcher family produced a clothesline art show with local students. So fast forward now 55 years, they're featuring 300 booths from 30 different states, those vendors. The festival also has live music and countless homemade treats. The Chamber says the fest also has a large impact on local business.
If we didn't have the Arts and Crafts Festival, they would probably be down. And with it being here, they embrace the Arts and Crafts Festival, and actually a lot of stores do specials and try to draw guests into their stores.
And the fest has been selected by the American Bus Association as a top 100 event in North America. That event runs through Sunday. New at 11, it's World Breastfeeding Week, and local experts are sharing more information about why mothers need support. WSBT 22's Heather Black is live here in the studio. And Heather, this year's theme is Sustaining Breastfeeding Together.
The American Academy of Pediatrics suggests moms breastfeed for a year, but mothers can struggle with the task, especially mothers who return to work. Now, I spoke to a lactation nurse at St. Joseph Regional Health System. She says the support a mother gets in the workplace can impact the way that if she breastfeeds or not. Now, one full doctor says that she has been breastfeeding with her daughter for a year. It was the support from her staff and patients that encouraged her to keep going.
Say it takes a village to raise a child, and I think it really does. And it's not the village of people always surrounding the child, it's also the people that are supporting the parents. And breastfeeding is a huge community effort. If you think about people having to take 15 minutes off to pump for work, or 15 minutes, you know, because they have to go feed their child. Really.
And St. Joseph Health System offers support with classes for breastfeeding moms. All nurses who come in contact with mothers and babies are trained on the issue. Now, it offers them support early on, and the hospital says it has seen a 10% increase because of it.
All right, thank you, Heather. Next at 11, a 200-year-old classic coming to life in Indiana. Why one group of Hoosiers will showcase the Frankenstein legacy throughout the state. And a first day of school turns into a show of support against those bullying an Indiana teen. He showed up for class with just a few of his friends.
And it's a stormy night out there tonight. Some strong thunderstorms already being heard here at the WSBT stations. In the meantime, today's low temperature was 63 degrees so far anyway. High today 84. Sun rises tomorrow at 6:43. We'll have the full forecast in just a moment.